everybody, it's Ms. Hernandez, and today I wanted to talk to you about an artist named Andy Goldsworthy. Now, Andy Goldsworthy is a land artist, and the land artists, what they do is they go outside into nature, and they only use materials that they can find outside. Leaves, bark, sticks, rocks, things like that. So when he found the materials that he wanted to use, he would usually arrange them in lines like this. Sometimes he would need to break, alter, scratch his materials in order to create the lines. And he would also pay attention to the color of the materials that he was using, organizing them and arranging them in a way that would create a very cool design. Sometimes he would be using materials actually not even on the ground, but instead in water. As you can see this structure here. So let's say, for example, it's bad weather outside, you can't go out there and you can't find natural objects. It is okay. You could still follow this activity with the objects that you can find inside your home. What you're going to do is you're going to be inspired by Andy Goldsworthy, and what we're going to do is actually collect our own objects to create a line. It could be a straight line going left to right, up and down, or it could be diagonal, and it doesn't actually have to be a straight line. It could actually be a zigzag line, or it could be any other line that you can think of. Now, the first thing is to pick our object. Now, what I would do is I actually would try to find objects that are very similar to each other, or maybe exactly the same like these guys. So what we're going to do is actually going to be arranging these objects in a line. Now, when I'm arranging something in a line, I'm trying to make sure that they're not grouped up like this, and they're also not all separated like this. It does not really look like a line. So what I'm going to do is start with one object. I'm going to figure out which direction I want to go. So for right now, I'm going to go left to right. I'm going to start with one here, and I'm going to make sure that my next one is going to touch right there. And we're going to keep going and going and going and going. And I kind of wanted to go from biggest to smallest, but that's just because I wanted to do it that way. You can arrange your objects in any way that you like, and again, it could be in any direction you like. Now, when I was trying to look for these objects, I was actually trying to look for at least 5 of them or more so I can really see that line. If I tried to make a line with just 2, it'd be kind of difficult to try to show that line where it's going. Whether it's going up and down, side to side, it's a little bit more difficult. Even with 3, though you could do a line with 3 objects, it would be kind of difficult if you wanted to try to do a zigzag line or a curvy line. It's just really hard to see where that line is going. If you had more, 5 or more, right now I have 6, I could actually put this in a different kind of line, and now it kind of looks like a curvy line. It gives you more options. Other objects you could be using is color pencils, markers, crayons, anything that looks very similar to each other, like these color pencils. Even though they're not the same color, it is okay. Now, these in themselves are already straight lines, and you can create much longer lines using these if you wanted to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a zigzag line going from top to bottom. And again, I'm making sure that I have my objects right next to each other, kind of touching. And since this is a zigzag line, these objects are going to be kind of going in a different direction every time. Now, since color pencils, mine are very rounded, they're going to be rolling around a lot, so you've got to be very careful when arranging them into your line. And as you can see, I have a zigzag line going from top to bottom. Now, I want to present a challenge for you guys. I want you to create 4 different kinds of lines using 4 different kinds of materials, and then arrange it in an interesting way. If you want to use more lines or more materials, you may do so.
And if you want to share a picture with me, you can just snap a picture or record a video and attach it to this assignment.